Hello, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Michael.
We are Some of Everything Everything, and you're watching.
Toasted.
Guys, finally, welcome to Amsterdam.
Thank you. Nice to
Hey,
be here.
yeah, you've been here plenty of times, of course. This is a special one. Did you play this hall before, the HMH?
We supported Simple Minds here, actually.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Yeah, which was fine, but their audience is, how do we put it?
A little
a
old.
little more mature.
Yeah, a little old and completely uninterested in us.
Really? Really?
That's probably some dads were like, oh, yeah, this has got a good beat. But nah, I mean, Simple Minds, we're not really in the same kind of
League.
crossover.
Well,
Yeah.
we did. It was 2 nights here, and the first night we did like the normal sort of set we normally do, and the second night we just totally changed it because we just thought,
Yeah.
we've got to do something like to make them slightly like us a little bit. But it was still very nice to do the gig, and Simple Minds were very nice to us.
How did you approach the music then? Because I mean, you can't change it to be more
Well,
popular demand, or
Yeah,
actually.
but we have different songs we can play. We can play poppier songs or weirder songs or faster songs or slower songs, and we have quite a wide range of stuff we can do because we're quite a weird band. So we can tailor ourselves to some extent.
Way back in high school, I was, of course, discussing music with a lot of my friends, and one of my friends brought a record from XTC. And he said, this is proper music, not the shit you're listening to. And we were in the discussion. He said, you know why this is interesting? It's not just good tunes, but it's music that you can listen to again and again because there's surprising stuff happening that you don't realize when you first listen to it. So it's interesting pop music. That's, of course, what you guys set out to do as well, right?
Sort of. I'd be interested to know what you were listening to that they thought was so crap at the time.
Well, guess how I got there? Simple Minds, amongst others.
Hey, okay, well there you go. Perfect. Yeah, I guess we do. Lots of people think we sound a bit like XTC. We definitely like them a lot. I mean, I still only know a handful of their songs, so they're not really been a big influence on us. But I can definitely respect that that they are really good. But I don't know this thing we've done. I'm never sure if it's right or wrong, or if that's even the way you should look at it, really. And certainly to say this is crappy because it's not something is definitely not a very good idea. Just makes it doesn't make any sense. There is no really right and wrong about it. And sometimes all I want is the simplest, stupidest music I've ever heard. And sometimes I want stuff that I don't even want to listen to because it's so complicated, you know. And finding ways to kind of make both of those things friends is really fun.
And how do you approach your own music? I mean, you don't make like "Boom Boom Boom" by the Venga Boys. You know, you don't. I don't think you guys could even make that music, right?
Bizarrely enough, I had to listen to that last night while I was trying to get to sleep to get the flight today, which is why I look so tired. But my neighbours above me put on "Boom Boom Boom." Well, we could make it, and we do sometimes make things that are like that. And we kind of think, sometimes we make stuff and we kind of go, well, this would probably be quite successful if we put this out. And then we kind of look at each other and we're like, well, we can't do it because we can't, we'll just go crazy, you know, because we have to have something for us in there, you know, to entertain ourselves and keep ourselves interested in it. So it's always kind of trying to balance it. It's not a question of whether we can or can't do it. I think it's what we want to do with it and what there's enough of already in the world, try and do something that someone's not doing. Those kind of questions are much more interesting to try and answer.
And it doesn't just stop with the music. Your lyrics are amazing as well, which is a rarity nowadays, I think.
Yeah, lyrics are in a pretty awful state in white people music at the moment. Hip hop's getting better, but yeah, bands with good lyricists. I guess it's just not very cool these days.
I just don't think. I think a lot of people don't even make the effort nowadays. They just
But
take a couple of tunes and that's it.
maybe that's cool. I don't know. It was cool for a while in the 70s to be a punk about it, and maybe that's what we're seeing again or something. I don't know. It boggles my mind how little effort people put in.
Well, you said it, punk. I think your lyrics are pretty punk. Amazing lyrics, I think, personally.
I have no idea then what people are doing.
But I mean, again, I mean, how do you approach music? Is you do think the music must be interesting. The lyrics have to be interesting, right? I mean, you guys are really you do it for yourself, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely make music on our own terms. I think even when it's quite hooky and accessible musically, and that's what I think we like. It's not like we set out to say, okay, let's make pop music that's got more layers to it than maybe most other bands or whatever. We just kind of found our way into that, and then we enjoyed getting that balancing act right. But sometimes we go too far, and it's kind of overloaded. There's either too much in the lyrics, or there's too much in the music, or there's just too much to process. So sometimes we'll rein some of it back and just kind of make sure we get the balance right. That it feels like it's visceral as opposed to just all cerebral, and you can just kind of like get into something. As opposed to just having to like think about it far too much, So yeah, that's what we kind of find interesting, is getting that balance right.
Talking about balance, you guys released 17 songs for Get to Heaven, 11 on the album, then 6 extras. That made me think. I like 11 songs because it's something that my brain can compute. When the CD era started, bands suddenly released albums with 22 songs or 24 songs just because they put it on a CD. And now you guys make an album with 11 songs, yet you also release 17 songs instantly.
That's a very unique position. Well, quite unique position. We're in our label. Sony makes all their acts put out an extra deluxe CD. So you have the luxury of all the not very good songs too.
Is that really? I mean,
yeah, it really is. I mean, that is true, but it's kind of annoying sometimes people, because if they listen to it on Spotify or whatever, they don't realise that it's two separate things. Like, we definitely see it as an 11-song album, and that's it. And then there's another thing, which is fine. I mean, it's not like we're not proud of the other 6, but there's a reason why they're not on the album. So it's kind of annoying when people go, "Oh, it's a really long album." We're like, "Well, no, it's not actually." Like, the actual album is only 11, and we made it that length and that order for a particular purpose, and we kind of wrestled over that for a bit. So, but yeah, 11's a good number. I think we like that. Depends on how long the songs are. We've got longer songs than ever on this one as well. We've got a couple of 5-6 minuters, and we just kind of thought, well, the approach to the album was kind of like, maybe we don't need to kind of hold back so much. So we thought, well, we'll just leave that extra minute in. Why not? So we did. No one stopped us. So
I'm glad they did. And great songwriting. A couple of interesting tracks, of course. Distant Past. Do you realize when you make a song like that you write a hit, actually? Because I think it's a hit.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, when something has the traits of popular music, and you kind of go, well, this is going to work on the radio, this would work, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we do know. Don't know if it's going to actually resonate with anyone, because sometimes when you write something that's very pop-sounding, it's instantly forgettable, and you just kind of don't even start with it. You're just like, well, whatever. But when you find something that's somehow in between or catches it in a slightly new light, then it's a good feeling, yeah.
Another great song that I love, No Reptiles. I love the lyrics as well. Were you guys actually referring to certain people? Can you elaborate on?
No, not certain people. No, not certain people. I never really do that. I've done it once or twice, but no.
Well, blowing up the Queen is pretty.
Yeah, but again, it's not I mean, I'm just talking about killing everyone in the Fortune 500 as well, and that's, some of those guys are fine. Google's in there, and all sorts of companies like that. It's just more metaphorical, obviously. The Queen's just a classic kind of establishment figure, isn't she? But no, I'm not talking about specifics. Certainly not in that song. I'm not. I mean, there's maybe specific things have happened that really put things in my head, but I think it closes doors when you get too specific about people or events.
To the Blade is pretty specific.
It's not really, but it's been reported as such a few times. It's not really. It's more. It's quite. It's about all of that stuff, really. No, it's not specific.
Well, a lot of this stuff is still happening. I mean, you wrote this album last year, probably recorded it. The world evolved. Must be strange to live in the now. I mean, listening to your lyrics, because it only got worse, basically.
Yeah, I know they're just getting terrible. My lyrics.
Well,
No, well,
I wasn't referring to them.
I know. They're sort of getting more true, or so, you know, if you know what I mean. That they're getting. I wrote them in a kind of half fantasy way, and now they're kind of like really not very fantastical anymore. Particularly, what happened in Paris, and we went there straight after it happened. Like a week later, we had a gig, and and people came out to see us, and we went out there, and it was very strange to be singing those songs in that situation. It was
You guys went to the Bataclan Club as well. You went to the club.
not the best. No, we had our own gig in somewhere else.
I can't remember the name of the venue, but it was like a week after anyway.
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, it was scary, of course. It was.
Not really. No, it was more. We were scared people wouldn't come. Not scared of what would happen. I don't think. Well, I don't think I was. No. It was just weird. You just kind of felt like it was suddenly everything had changed, but you kind of hoped it hadn't. And if people just come and you can kind of forget. And I think that is what I felt. The end of the night was I kind of forgot until it's just a gig, and there's been a million more gigs since then.
Of course, yeah. Well, life goes on, but still, I mean, it could have been you. It could have been us. You know, this is one attack that brought things really close.
Well, we played a gig the same day at the same time in our hometown, and my niece was there. She's only 8, and she sneaked in to watch the show. And I remember thinking afterwards, you know, if this would be my show, you know, my little niece could have been shot, you know, and that's pretty makes it pretty real to you.